सो गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी। माई सेल्फ आचार्य विश्वेंद्र आज कुछ आपसे पैटर्न्स डिस्कस करूंगा बेस्ड ऑन जेई और नीट की जेई और नीट के जो पैटर्न्स हैं क्या उनका सिग्निफिकेंस है, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं और कैसे उनको टैकल करें। इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्रिपेयरिंग योर माइंड ब्रेन सिस्टम in a way so that you can be adaptive to the exam patterns of JEE and NEET. So let's start with that. So the first thing here is the topic of discussion is patterns of JEE and NEET physics. So broadly we can categorize the exams into JEE Main, JEE Advanced and NEET. So first of all, let's see the pattern of the exam, the number of questions. So as per JEE Main is concerned, there are 90 questions. In JEE Advanced, it varies every year, varying between 50 to 60. And in NEET, there are 180 questions. In physics, 30 questions in JEE Main, 18 to 20 in JEE Advanced, and 45 questions in physics. And all of these are comprising of 28 chapters, 14 from class 11th and 14 from class 12. So this is the overall analysis of the number of questions being asked in JEE and NEET and the total chapters as per the syllabus. Now there is one interesting pattern. If we analyze physics as a whole for JEE and NEET, so it is comprising of 6 branches, a total of 28 chapters, about 300 topics, and the total content is about 2000 A4 size pages. So the entire physics can be simplified in terms of content as comprising of 2000 A4 size pages. These pages include theory, questions, PYQs, DPPs, everything about that. So there are about 2000 A4 size pages which you need to prepare for your exams. Now in exam, the information which is being asked is from 10 pages. So there are about 45 questions. So in each question, there is only use of 1, 2 or 3 lines of the 2000 pages that we discussed. So if we compile all of these and take the average, it comes out to be that only 10 pages information is of relevance as per the exam is concerned. So that is the key factor. You see, out of 2000 pages, only 10 pages have the probability that the information which will come, it will be from the 10 pages. And you don't know the sequence, which chapter, what topic, what page, what para, you don't know. So you should prepare with a strategy so that the first thing is, you should be able to absorb all the 2000 pages. You must be able to let them enter into your mind-brain system. And the second thing is, you must be able to use and retrieve it as and when needed. So this retrieval effect is the crucial factor in preparing for JEE, because if you are not able to retain the information, you will not be able to solve questions. That is why most of the students fail in JEE, because they don't understand the psychological patterns behind the exams. They don't prepare themselves mentally, and more especially, they don't focus on the retention process, which is a use of subconscious mind. So till now you must be aware that the physical things that we see is manifestation of the metaphysical dimensions of life. There are things which are not seen directly. You need to experiment to find those hidden things, those unseen, those hidden dimensions. Only then you can bring the desired physical event, that desired physical result. And as per cracking competitive exam is concerned, that hidden thing is use of subconscious mind via retention process. So do remember this thing. You are studying, that is step number 1. This most important process begins when you left studying and you start revising. Because when you revise, only then you come to know what is your actual position, what is capacity of your mind-brain system. And it is the capacity of the mind-brain system which plays the significant role in cracking the. Most of the students, as I have about 14 years of experience of working with reputed coaching institutes of Kota, I have analyzed a lot of thousands of students. I have analyzed their working. I have analyzed myself also, my colleagues also. So on the basis of the analysis, I come to decode certain patterns that before studying, your mind-brain system must work in certain quantized patterns. If you work on the quantized patterns, only then you will be able to retain things, only then you will be able to solve questions, and you will be able to form the best mind brain system capable of decoding the toughest problems in the minimum possible way. So think rationally. There are millions of students. Exam is just a way to, you can say, to filter only those students who have very strong and silent mind brain system, or the powerful mind brain system. So it is the powerful and silent mind brain system which is the central requirement behind any preparation. So just put some focus on the process of your mind brain system, your capability to learn things, your capability to store information in your mind brain system, your capability to retain, and the most important is your performance under pressure. These things cannot be developed in one day, it requires a lot of time. Most of the students who qualify Jee-Neet, whose pics you see on the newspaper, they started preparing as early as class 5. So 5 to 12, there are 8 years, about 8 years they took. So in those 8 years, they work on their mind brain system, and especially the use of subconscious mind. So there is a fixed pattern developed inside them, and then it's just like automatic patterns are being made, and they don't need to put much effort in analyzing things, in thinking, in overthinking, in contemplating, in learning. They have the exact idea that how to get results from the studies. So they know the exact frequencies, they decode the exact frequencies. So there is the secret, and that secret is use of subconscious mind. So to make you familiar with the use of subconscious mind, I have developed the concepts of worksheets with the name Optimal Physics. These worksheets are made on every topic. I think more than 9,300 videos are uploaded on YouTube. And I think I have covered most of the topics of physics. And in those worksheets, I have compiled a number of questions, roughly between 12 to 15 questions on each topic. And these topics are very fundamental. These worksheets are very fundamental. They makes you fundamental very strong. They includes the very basic terms, the basic concepts, application points, all in the same video, so that you have the working knowledge of the topic. So if you want to cross-check your preparation, just go through the videos, go through the worksheets, and assess yourself that how many information or how many neural patterns you are able to retain. So always do remember, it is the retention process or the revision process which is the secret to crack JEE. What we are studying right now is a step number one. Step number two is how much of that information and pattern is being able to transfer to your mind brain system, and especially to the unconscious mind. And transferring information or the patterns from brain to the mind requires use of subconscious mind. So those students who learn how to use subconscious mind, they are able to solve questions quickly, they are able to retain information which they learned during the preparation of nearly 1 or 2 years. But if a student is not comfortable with use of subconscious mind, he'll just struggle with thoughts, emotions, anxiety, depression, negative feelings, reflections by the mind. So it's the game is always psychological. So think at the psychological level, then move to the neurological level. Cracking a competitive exam is just not at the physical level. It has got its metaphysical dimensions. It has got use of subconscious mind, so that you can learn only by revising and by practicing. So the worksheets are just an optimization tool to prepare to stimulate your mind brain system for effective performance. Let's move ahead. So all of these things, as I said earlier, these are pattern based. So if we talk about the patterns, so as a whole, there are about 3,000 neural patterns in entire physics. You see, if you observe the universe is following certain patterns, and those patterns are limited, and universe is entire manifestation of certain basic laws of nature. So you cannot decode, you cannot analyze the entire universe as a whole, because it's abundant, it's much beyond what you can think of. But certainly you can analyze the patterns, and the same patterns are applied ranging from the nuclear scale to the cosmic scale. For example, if we deal with the nuclear scale, we have nucleus. Inside nucleus there are protons and neutrons, and they are also moving, oscillating about themselves. If we move forward, if we come to the atomic level, at the center we have the nucleus and electron is revolving around it in orbits. This same pattern is also repeated in the solar system. In the solar system, we have sun at the center and planets move around it in elliptical orbits. So there is repetition of pattern ranging from the nuclear scale to the cosmic scale. So you don't need to analyze the entire universe. You just focus on any single system which is, working under certain patterns, and that pattern is revised. That pattern is repeated in the entire universe. So the secret here is to decode the patterns, and especially in physics for cracking Jee-Neet, books are abundant. You start with any chapter. There are millions of books available on the single chapter. So you can devote your entire time in reading even a single topic. But that's not the game. Thing here is to fetch the patterns associated with the chapter, put that into your mind brain system, uh, practice, learn. Are you able to get answers of the questions of that topic? You will make mistakes. Analyze yourself, change your algorithms, change your thinking process until and unless you are able to get the output. Always do remember, in life, one thing is certain: if you are able to get the output, if you are able to perform, you will earn name, fame, and money for sure. But if by anyhow any mechanism can be there, any emotional thing can be there, if you are unable to get the output or the result, you will not achieve anything in life. You will just struggle with thoughts, emotions, energy, this and that. This is sad reality of life. Life is all about the output or the performance. So if you want to perform in life, then just focus on performance. Just forget everything else. Have laser focus concentration on the performance. So the worksheets or the topic which I'm going to ask, which I'm delivering to you, is just about getting that much focus in your life. So as I said earlier that you should use a pattern-based study which is optimized to learn patterns. So I'll discuss the pattern-based study in the further video. But simply, I can say that there are three things of concern. First is the pattern of, you can see the patterns in the chapter. Second thing is the worksheets based on those patterns, so that you actually learn how it feels when you actually start solving problems. Because what I've analyzed is people talk big, they will do this, they will do that, because they are not mentally into the state of problem, they are not facing the problem. Or very few have the guts to actually put themselves into the problem and then finding the solutions. It's very easy to boast big, to talk big, to give motivation lectures, to talk this and that. But when it comes to implement, only a few have the guts to implement and withstand the impact of problems. Problems are everywhere and they disturb you emotionally. So I have observed in life that a good problem solver doesn't talk big, he doesn't boast much. His work speaks, and it's a well said statement that work speaks better than words. So if you decode the pattern, if you are able to face the problem and give the solution, then your work will itself speak. You don't need to boast about it. So thing is preparation at the psychological and neurological level, and that too a pattern based study. Then it's practice using worksheets and mapping it with the POQs. So worksheets or the optimal physics concept has the central concept is a tri-level preparation. The first level is patterns, second is worksheets, and third is NEET or JEE PYQs mapping that completes the entire preparation in an effective and more productive way. Let's understand the concept of pattern by an example. Suppose you are studying about work done by a force. So traditionally what happens is that teacher will start giving the definition, work is this, he'll give you some introductory idea about the work. Then he will give you certain relations, certain formulas, then he'll solve certain questions based on that. But that includes a lot of theory, a lot of unnecessary things which are not relevant, which are not optimized for exam performance. If I'm gonna discuss work done by a force using a pattern, so how I'll start is, the first thing is the basic concept of work done. So take example of yourself. You are studying. So what will you say? You are doing some work. So when you are studying, certainly you need to, suppose you are writing something, so you need to apply force on the pen, and the force will move through certain displacement, and certainly there is involvement of an. So we can intuitively say that work done has some relation with the force, some relation with the displacement, and some relation with the angle. Now, angle comes then when it comes to the quality of working. Work may be positive or negative. Suppose you want to study. So, what work you are doing may contribute positively to that or may contribute negatively to that. So, if you are writing, that's a positive contribution. But if you are listening to music or you are being distracted by some other work, that's a negative contribution to the actual work you are performing. So in this way, intuitively, you can say that work done depends primarily on the force, displacement, and the angle. So this is the basic concept by virtue of which we can relate it to the daily life so that we get interest and we can connect to it. Actually, here thing is connecting yourself, connecting your past, your belief systems, connecting things that you already know, that you already feel, to the things that you are going to discuss. So this is how we learn. So learning is at the neurological level, it's a mind mapping. You are making some mind mapping, you are developing certain neural patterns, you are, it's a pyramidal sort of structure of the information. So it's a, you can say that it's a mental map is made inside you. It's a network of the neurons, or more general to the neural network. So information is being processed in a systematic way, and more you learn, more complex your information processing system becomes. More complex algorithms you make, by virtue of which you are able to analyze things quickly and come up with a speedy solution. So this is regarding the basic concept of work done. Then I'll start with the what is force, what is displacement. Let's start with the practical situation that force is vector f, displacement is vector s. So this is how questions are being asked. Just give you an introduction of the topic so that you become familiar with that. You are not afraid of it. You are not anxious of it. You come to know that okay, this thing is this. So you become internally comfortable with the topic. Then start with the mathematical implications, the laws, because we cannot make the laws. Laws are not as per our comfort. It's the standard fact which is proved by experiments done by a lot of scientists, which involved use of multiple years, use of hard working 18 hours a day, and then final conclusion we have to put it into our system. So suppose this is force vector, this is displacement vector, angle is theta. So work done here is defined as F dot S if force is constant. So this is first mathematical analysis of work done. Questions will be asked from this. Basic concept is just to make you feel that what work is. Now there is another task using that concept. You move to ahead. You need to move ahead to the higher level, which involves the mathematical expressions regarding the work by virtue of which you'll gonna solve your questions. So work done is F dot S when force is constant. This F dot S can be written as Fs cos theta. So if you are familiar with vectors, suppose force vector is given, displacement vector is given. So you can use this expression to solve that question. In certain other case, if force, displacement, angle is given, you need to use this formula. There is third implication, which is work done by a force is change in kinetic energy. If you are analyzing a system, work done by all the forces on that system is equal to change in kinetic energy of the system. This is third use of it. Next is if force is variable, you need to integrate the expression. You need to write the work done as integration of F dot ds. Now, fifth thing is work done is also area under Fs graph with sign. Now it's based on the manipulation of work done. If force displacement graph is given, if force is positive, take area positive. If force is negative, take area is negative. And work done can be calculated as area under Fs graph with sign. So here area is A1, here it is A2, here it is A3. So we write A1 minus A2 plus A3. This is another application that how to calculate the work done from the graph. Another application is if force versus time graph is given as shown over here. So you need to find impulse. Impulse means change in momentum. From change in momentum, you need to find the final velocity. And from the final velocity, you are going to calculate the change in kinetic energy. And work done by all the forces is equal to change in kinetic energy of the system. So this is analysis you can make from these patterns. So I just discussed 6 cases related to the work done, the standard cases. And if you are thorough with all the 6 points, any question, take any exam, NEET, JEE, any exam you take, examiner is bound to ask questions from these patterns. So this is how the game of pattern begins. And I think it just took about 5 to 10 minutes to deal with the single topic and all the possible manipulations of the topics. So this is how the smart students or the students who are able to crack exams, how they study. So they study in terms of pattern. They form a mental pattern, the mental maps, by virtue of which they know that this topic is related to 10 things. They take considerable time to develop that sort of pattern. And once the pattern is set up in their mind, they will think like, okay, this is the question, this is the topic, so it is from one of the patterns. So information processing becomes sharper, their analysis power increases, their speed increases. So it's all about the complexity of the mind brain system, which is a point of concern. So if you want to crack any competitive exam, just ask yourself, the first thing is, are you mentally capable to do that? How you feel when you actually start solving the problem? Because there are so many issues, so many things, so many boasting, so many this and that. So what we say is mostly manipulable, and it's just to give us, just to move away from the situation actually. Reality of yours is what you actually do. You are not what you say, you are what you do. So do remember this thing. If you know something, you don't need to speak it up. Most of the words that we use, they have a hidden purpose. So what we are, it's because of what we do. So always do remember, you are what you do, not what you say. Saying has no significance, it's the doing that is significant. And from this discussion, we discussed today about the neural patterns. So JEE and NEET are all about the hidden mind-brain systems, hidden algorithms of the mind-brain system, hidden processing, especially the retention process and especially the use of subconscious mind. Now, if you want to know about these things in details, you can refer to my book OST by Acharya Vishvendra. It's available on Google, Amazon, Flipkart, and Notion Press. I also have the same video with the same name, the OST by Acharya Vishvendra. You can also look for that for specifications and technicalities. The purpose being that if you want to crack any exam, the first thing is put yourself to the question answer session. Just start solving the PYQs and feel that how your mind brain system responds. Are you comfortable with that, or are you able to deal with the emotional complexities that comes during the retention process? Because saying is a different thing, doing is a different thing. On the basis, I have myself appeared for JEE in 2007. At that time, it used to be AEEE for JEE main I'm talking. And I got state rank 219 in Uttarakhand, got my engineering degree from Government Engineering College, Pantnagar, Uttarakhand, which is second best after IIT Roorkee in government colleges. After that, I moved to Kota, and during my 14 years of experience with a lot of students who got selected, who didn't get selected, I analyzed their patterns. And what I'm saying is based on all of my observations, my experiments. You can search my name, Acharya Vishvendra, on YouTube. My more than 9,300 videos are on my official channel, and thousands of more videos are available with the name Vishvendra sir. You can check it out. On my Instagram profile with the same name Acharya Vishvendra, there are more than 3,200 reels dealing with the physics, basically education psychology, basically dealing with physics for JEE and NEET, education psychology, and some sort of neuroscience also. Then my 215 books have been published. These are available on Amazon, Flipkart, and Notion Press. Then I have, I think, more than 11.9k tweets are available with the same name Acharya Vishwendra, which you nowadays call as X. So I have done phenomenal work in education sector. You can search my name in any search engine, maybe ChatGPT, maybe Group Acharya Vishwendra Kota. That will give you an idea of my working. So whatever I am saying is based on my own experience and 14 years of my professional life. It's all available on the YouTube. You can search them out, Google them out, and just start using what I'm saying, using the worksheet, and just test it yourself that whether it brings certain positivity in you. So everything is fine, but we come to know things when we experiment, when we implement. Because if we start thinking, thinking is often biased. So I'm just giving you a reference of my work, because words may be fake, but work cannot be fake. Something which I have done, it cannot be, it has got a very solid impact. So just go through the videos, go through the worksheets, and feel the difference within you. However, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.